Hello and welcome. Lovely that you're here. Now, I have a question for you. How inspired do you feel? Have you got all those creative juices flowing, or are you struggling to find some new ideas and some new inspiration with your painting? Well, if that is you, then you're in the right place, because today I've got some really interesting and innovative ideas for you to use as prompts and inspiration for your painting. We're going to be looking at some different things that you can do with collage and also some different things that you can do with shapes. Very, very unusual and inspiring. And I've also got something very special to share with you. So let's dive in and get started. Get your materials together and your notepad, because you might like to make a note of a few of the things so you can practice with them afterwards. Okay, let's get started. So this week I've been working a little bit on my series of paintings. These three here. I've been doing quite a lot of collage on this one, and I'm quite enjoying it. It's a very strange painting, I have to say. It's quite a story, and I'll talk to you about the story when I've finished the painting. But then I had an idea that what might be quite interesting would be to carry this theme on to obviously the other two, because I'm working in a series. And because I've done a lot of collage on it, and then I've used up some of that collage paper, haven't really quite got enough for the other two. So I had an idea which might be of interest to you, and that is to take some photographs of the painting that I've done with the collage and then print them out. And so that's what I've done on here, some of them. And so I thought that then I can use this as collage paper on the other two. So I think that'll be quite an interesting experiment. So I'll have the theme running through it, which is what I wanted to do. So I'm going to have a crack on with that throughout the week. And then I've had some interesting things going on, and I'm just going to show you because it's a little surprise. So this is my little surprise. Isn't he gorgeous? I was out walking on Sunday with my other dogs, and this little one appeared from nowhere and started playing with my two and didn't want to leave. And we were right out in the country, so we were really wondering where he came from. So on our walk back, we asked different neighbours, had they seen him, did they know him? And none of them did, and he wouldn't go anywhere. So I took him home. And we have to have chips here. I'll put him down. Anyway, he's called Bobo. We've called him Bobo, haven't we? Hey. So we took him to the vet yesterday to see if he had a chip, because we have to have chips in all the dogs here in Spain, and he didn't. So they said, well, you can either take it to the dog pound or you can keep it. So I've got a new addition to my family of animals. I've got Cherry, and I'll show you Cherry. Hold on. So this is Cherry eating her bone, which is very happy and enjoying that. And I've also got my lovely little pussycat, who is Twinkle. Hello, Twinkle, say hello. And the other dog is downstairs somewhere, Heidi. So some new additions to my little family of animals, which is lovely, and I adore them. But let's get back to painting. And I got a few things that I'd really love to show you, which I think you might have some fun with. So let me put the camera down and then you'll be able to see. So I've got a lovely new sketchbook here, which I'm really pleased with. It's watercolour paper, A3, and it's £300. So I've just started doing a few little things. And I wanted to show you this wonderful way of really being creative and exploring possibilities. I've got loads of different shapes in here of all kinds of things. Our main shapes, which are triangles and squares and some circles wherever they are. Here somewhere. And there's the oval, and here's the circle, one of the circles. So what I'm going to show you a few ideas that you can do if you cut out some shapes, and how you can play around with them to find some fascinating ways to start a painting. And so you can see I've cut out lots of different shapes, and it's easy to do and fun to do. A little tree there, different sizes of rectangles, squares, and the triangles. And I've got lots of little black squares here. So I painted a piece of paper black. I drew a little grid on the back, and then painted the paper black, and then cut all the shapes out. So I'm going to show you what we can do with those. But this is kind of such fun to do if you're kind of feeling a little bit, what am I going to do today? How am I going to get started? Then this is a great way of doing that. So you could start by, if you, dependent on which shapes you've cut out, you could do any. You could just lay these out in any way you like on a piece of paper. So here in the sketchbook, you can lay them out so they feel right to you. I think that one might go off there a little bit. So you're getting the shapes, but you're also getting, let's do it that way. You're also getting negative shapes, which is kind of interesting. Let's put something. Let me have a look what we've got here. Let's do one of these here, a square. So you can lay them out with any way that you like. So you've actually got the shapes, but you've also got the negative shapes. So you can do all different kinds of things with this. You can just actually draw around the shapes. It can be fairly random, but get a feel of how they are. It'll always surprise you, because your negative space is going to give you something really interesting to play with. So let's go around this circle, and it's not having to be accurate at this point, but it gives you an idea. Let's do that here, just as a beginning to getting started and seeing how it might unfold as you go. So I'm going to just finish doing this around these, and then it'll be a surprise at seeing what the negative shape is after we've finished doing this. It's such a lovely, simple way to get you started and begin, rather than do, I do a lot of free drawing, but this is more kind of structured if you want to do something a little bit more geometrical or just experiment. So let's see what it looks like. Oh, wait a minute, that needs to go across there. Let's just do that, and we can just draw it across. So we've got this happening now on the drawing. Isn't it fascinating? So I could start doing something with this if I like. I can start putting some colour on it. I can, change it around. I could do some free drawing on top of it. But it's a great little way of starting a painting if you just want to experiment a little bit with doing something different. It's so easy and really good fun, and you might really enjoy it. You can go back over it. I can see here that this would be quite nice to see, and then I can start painting it and do some interesting things. So that's one way of doing something with the shapes. Then another way, which I'm going to use these black ones now. This is great fun. You can just jot them down on here in any way, shape or form. They can be anything that you like. And dependent on how you feel, will determine how you feel like you want to arrange these. If you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling stressed, how would you put these down for yourself? I could sort of bunch them together anyway. The possibilities here are completely endless. And then again, you can draw around them, find your negative spaces, see what could happen just by doing something like this. So I could draw around it, and I'll have a very interesting way of looking at these shapes. So I'm going to just do it quickly, just drawing around the outside of them. Right, I mean, it's random. It's really creative thing to do. So turn around here. Whoops. And it will give us an interesting design. And then you can change it up and do something completely different with it. You can go over the top of it, and so let's do the one in the middle here. It's going to be an interesting shape. Whoops. Okay, so we move those away, and we've got something happening already. Let's do this here. So I've got something to start on, to get going with, and then I can go back over it and do something else on top of that. I can keep going until I feel, okay, now I want to start doing something with it with colour. Really fascinating way of, beginning a painting, getting some new ideas. How do you feel? Open space, closed space. You've got all different kind of dimensions of feelings that you could arrange with it. You could then obviously, mix it up with some of the others. So, we could let's not put any more. Let's do something here to make it a little bit different with a bigger square, and change it up. We could put something in with a triangle. Then, you start to develop something. You could then take a picture of this, so you've got it as a reference. So then if you want to do other things with it, you could. But the possibilities here for doing different kinds of designs, and you could build a series on this kind of thing. You could do 3, they'd obviously all be different, but they'll have a cohesiveness because you've used the same kind of thing, and obviously dependent on how you would paint it. But I would very much suggest that you did it on a limited palette. So if you were doing a series, you'd continue that colour theme through. So I think that's kind of quite exciting. You could also obviously, put some collage down on it. You can do anything with it that you like, and, play and and have fun without having to think about anything too seriously. I hope that you'll enjoy that little exercise and have fun with it. You could also use an old painting, an old clay painting, and then do some of these on the top. Draw around it. With this one, I would do it with some white chalk. But I could have some interesting playtime doing something else on top of this. So I would have some interesting negative spaces in between these shapes. So, it's worthwhile having a play and seeing what might unfold and what you might come up with. Well, I hope you'll find that exercise fascinating and interesting. You'll be able to do all kinds of different manipulations with it to make very unusual, unique paintings, and I'm sure you'll enjoy and have fun with it. And if you want to learn a lot more about abstract painting, I have lots of freebies, some free courses, and all those links are in the description below. And if you've got any comments or you've got any questions, do leave them in the comments below. I always answer your questions. And of course, give me the thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you want more. And it's always great for YouTube to be able to then share it to lots more people. So have a good week, have fun painting, lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.